Good day, everybody. My name is Greg McDougall. I'm the Director of Special Needs Ministries here at Woodside Bible Church. This is another video in this series of training for ministry volunteers and potential volunteers, and I thank you so much for tuning into these videos, and we just hope this better puts you in a position to serve, and it is a blessing to our participants and their families, making it a more safe and friendly environment for them. So thanks again. Today we're going to be touching on medical issues, what to do in case a medical emergency comes up. We'll include some talk on seizures on that as well. So when any kind of medical situation comes up, there are some things we have to do. First of all, we hope that any potential for medical issues were documented on an intake form that a parent might have provided to the ministry leader. We leave space for that. Most of us ministry leaders, when we have a new family, will set aside some time. Here at Troy, I call it individual worship plan, just to take 5 minutes with a family member or the individual or both, just to talk over a myriad of things, including any food allergies, any sensitivities, and then including things like any medical concerns, something that we could be prepared for and have pre-knowledge of in case a situation comes up. But that's not always the case either. There's always maybe the first time for a medical situation. So our first clue would be those intake forms and individual worship plan meetings or meetings with family. That will help prepare us. So what do we do when that does happen? What do we do if there's a stroke or a seizure or any other kind of medical emergency? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to secure that area and have one of the volunteers stay with that person. We want to make sure that nobody else becomes involved in this. So we want to make that person the priority. We want to make sure that they're taken care of. We also want other volunteers to make sure to minister to the other participants in the room. We don't want others to be scared. We don't want them to be in the way, and that could be removing people from the room altogether, and while that individual who has that medical emergency is receiving the attention they need to receive. So we need to be wary of not only the individual and their safety, but the other people in that classroom or at that activity as well. Obviously, what we want to do in any particular order, but really probably all at the same time if we can, is contact that family. If the family's not in there, a care provider, your ministry leader at every event and every classroom should have cell phone numbers for all the family members, emergency numbers. We want to contact them. That'll be our very first thing once we secure that area and attend to that person. We also, every campus of Woodside has medical staff and security on site. Your particular ministry leader will know that number to get a hold of, and if you don't know it, you should, and they should provide that to you. So that'll be a quick thing to do as well. In all cases of medical emergencies, if you as a volunteer think that 911 needs to be called, by all means do so. Some of our participants might have an individual care plan that they fill out. Like, if this happens, I want this to be the response. And we want to honor that as often as we can. But also, you as a volunteer, if you do a quick assessment, you say, I'm calling 911 now, this is what this situation needs, by all means do that. There might not be time for you to look up in a form in a book. You might not have that time with everything else that has to go on. So once you do all that, and once that medical situation is done, as we said in previous videos, you're going to want to sit down with the volunteers who were there that day and kind of go through what happened and do an incident report. And then how do you learn, and what do you learn next time that happens? What response could you have, and what things might you have done? and then report that again to the family. You're going to want to, the family's going to want to know what happened and what steps were taken. So when it comes to seizures, and a lot of our participants in our ministry have had seizures, and that's something we want to prepare for. Some are very minor in what they look like. Others, we've all seen grand mal type seizures where participants falling to the floor. In almost all cases, there are general responses and things to do and not to do. Again, we want to clear that area if that person's having a seizure. Get desks and chairs and other items away, things that could maybe harm them. It'd be awful good at every event you have or class that you have a little pillow that they can rest their head on, or find something that they can rest their head on while and after, during and after they have a seizure. You're going to want to again contact the family. You're going to want to loosen any neck wear they might have, like ties or something that's tight so they can breathe easier. If possible, you'll want to turn them to their side. Contrary to what people believe, you cannot swallow your tongue. Most often these people who have a seizure have had them before. So the people who are most startled by them would be us or the other participants. Another thing you're going to want to do is time that seizure. Seizures, when they tend to get over 5 minutes, tend to get kind of critical. So if you can start timing that or have a good estimate on how long that seizure took. You're going to want to have one person stay with that person who's having the seizure while the others can make contact with the families or medical personnel. You're going to want to check to make sure all the other participants are safe, and call 911 if you want. When the episode is over, you're going to want to do that report and do what you can to prepare yourself better for next time. This was long-winded, friends. I appreciate that. There's a lot to learn with this. Thank you again for tuning in to this video. We hope it prepares you to better serve in this ministry. God bless you and have a great day.